Wayne's World, it's party time. Excellent. Yeah. Hey, if you're a Gen Xer, you remember Wayne's World. You loved Wayne's World. And maybe you're a millennial, you still love Wayne's World. A boomer, you still loved it. So I was a huge fan of Wayne's World. And I remember being much younger, and Wayne's World was this little sketch that was in the last 10 minutes of Saturday Night Live. Last 10 minutes. And I remember when it debuted, all my friends and I, fellow Gen Xers, we were sitting there going, oh my God, that's hilarious. Just these two, Wayne and Garth, have a talk show in, I think, Wayne Campbell's house in the basement, like this local cable show in Aurora, Illinois. So when you saw live from Aurora, Illinois, it was like Wayne's World, Wayne, and it was like you knew it was coming. And Garth with his drumsticks. And anyway, loved it, fell in love with the show, and I would watch with my friends every episode, every week to see, all right, are they going to bring it back? And they did. And for a long time, it was still at the end of the show. And then pretty soon, you knew that it had caught on because the sketch moved up in the 90 minutes in the full live Saturday Night Live airing. And it would be further up and they would have bigger guests like, Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Hilarious. Well, here's the thing, we can learn so many lessons. There's so many lessons. And it's stayed with me for all these years. I've always refer people to this particular thing because I think the learning from the Wayne's World bit is phenomenal and it still holds, which is true of creativity and innovation and team risk-taking. So here it is. Allow your team, allow yourself, allow people to have a space where I call it a Wayne's World experimentation zone. Give them a place where they can experiment and create whatever ideas they need to. Give people a place where they can say this might be crazy, but and let them go to town on those ideas. It's important that we have a safe experimentation zone. And that's what Wayne's World became. Lorne was smart. He knew that in the last 10 minutes of the show, most of the viewership had tuned out. So it was less risky than putting it at the beginning or the middle of a show. Your cold open has to be a hit, has to be high energy. And it was uncertain. So he knew to put it towards the end of a show until it got legs, just giving it a chance. So give people a space. Doesn't have to be a spotlight. Often innovation doesn't happen under a spotlight. It happens in skunk works, in these little live laboratory situations. And so he knew to give it some air, but he gave it space. He gave it space in the last 10 minutes of the show. It was low risk. So give your people a low risk way to play. And that's what Wayne's World was. Secondly, don't put a lot of rules around it. I think we're so busy innovating every day, and there's so much like emphasis on teams have to innovate and come up with new ideas or new stories or new communications, whatever, that the pressure alone doesn't give people space and time to breathe. And what Lorne did was Lorne gave that sketch time to breathe, to find its footing, to find its voice. And it did. It found its voice, it found its following, and then it became something special. He gave it time to breathe. Give your teams time to breathe. Give them a space and a time to breathe where the spotlight isn't there and it's not high pressure and it's not like you have to produce now. That doesn't help. People can't always be excellent. It's hard to be innovative and excellent when the spotlight is on you because you're going to have to make mistakes and you've got to give people a space to make mistakes. Time to breathe. Are you giving your team a chance to riff, a place that's safe with no judgments where they can riff on ideas? So whatever version of Wayne's World is for your team, are you giving them a space to have the dumb, silly sketches? The dumb ideas. That could be something. It could be the next Wayne's World. You don't know. And you won't know. You have to give it space to breathe without the pressure of like, you have to get the ROI, you have to get the outcomes. That's not how innovation always works. Innovation can be revolutionary, but a lot of times it's evolutionary, it's incremental, it's small little changes without the spotlight. And that is innovation. And it's true of storytelling and communications, any innovation. And by the way, as a storyteller, which I still am, everything is innovation. And whether it's communications, it's stories, products, any ideas, process, customer service, anything could be innovated. That's really the key. So giving people space and time without judgment to breathe. And don't force the KPIs. Let people make the mistakes, let them figure it out. You don't know what you'll get. So the question really is are you giving people room and space to breathe? Are your teams able to have a Wayne's World experimentation zone? Because without that, they're not going to have the ability to create different things and to be able to play. And if they're always getting stuff done and they're in KPI mode and execution mode, it doesn't free their mind up to be able to do the playful things and to come up with ideas. So they're going to need time to just spitball and rest and play with each other. And that's going to need to happen. At the same time, yes, you have deliverables and you have your regular things that you have to do, and that can't drop. And I get it. But too often, we're so busy delivering on the commercialized, the product roadmap that we have, that we forget that, oh my gosh, we have to think about tomorrow. And the balance is giving people places to play to come up with better process, better ideas, better stories, better whatever. But it happens when we give people space to breathe. And it's a lot of what I talk about in Stop Boring Me in my last book about using improv tools and collaboration to have space to innovate and to create. And anything can be innovated. Again, stories, communication, all that stuff. So the quick lesson is this. Again, give yourself and your team space to breathe so that they can spitball the crazy ideas. Because how many times have I done a really amazing thing, or my team's done something amazing when I was in tech, but it was prefaced by, this might sound crazy, but this might be off the wall, this might be weird. But those can be incredible if we let them breathe, if we give them space. So that's the lesson. And it has stayed with me all these years. I still have the Wayne's World t-shirts. I have the hat. I was Wayne and then I was Garth, both for Halloween, different times. Wayne's World 2, not as good as Wayne's World 1. The sequels rarely are. Still, it's got some hang time. I mean, the Gremlin. And here's a little fun fact is that Lorne Michaels did not want, when he made the movie and he helped produce the movie, he didn't want Bohemian Rhapsody. He didn't think that was the right song. But Mike Myers was adamant. He was like, no, it's got to be Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. And what a hit it was, right? It's like we can't imagine it with any other song. It was so great. It was so great. And of course, Dana Carvey as Garth Algar, you know. So party on Wayne Campbell, party on Garth Algar. I mean, I can't imagine, you know, I can't imagine Wayne's World any other way than the way that it worked out. And that is because of space to breathe. So I hope that that's the lesson you take away, however you need to do it.